Hello, everyone. It's good to see everyone here again. A lot of familiar faces here in the room. Really excited to come in and just give everybody a quick update into our capabilities for those who are not very familiar with Crackle and that I've just met for the first time here. You're part of a great team here at Whiting Kennedy, and just really excited to bring everybody up to speed into our capabilities now that we're almost a full year in as a dedicated sales force. So a lot of great updates. So today I'm going to talk specifically about Crackle. So to take a step back, we sit under the Sony Pictures Television Library umbrella here at Sony. Sony has recently had an initiative where it's encompassed all business units under one Sony umbrella to allow better synergistic opportunities across all of our divisions for seamless integrations and partnerships across not only our studio entertainment section, our hardware with the PlayStation 4 and 3 offerings and Vita, our Sony Music leveraging our robust artist and music catalog that we have here at Sony for several of our issues that we do. And then, of course, our Sony Pictures Television Group, which is developing fantastic content such as Breaking Bad, Rescue Me, The Shield, and the same folks that are doing those series and that level of quality in our originals are under the Sony umbrella. So that's where we sit right now. To take a step back, Sony Pictures Television has linear channels all over the globe. We're available in over 159 countries, and in over 22 languages. As you can see, we have a large global footprint from a linear perspective. When it comes to digital, Crackle, in the United States specifically, Sony does not have a dedicated linear channel. Thus, that's where we are coming in as the new network and being that streaming service for Sony Pictures Television and our library of content to the masses via streaming. Right now, Crackle is currently available in North America, in the US and Canada, LATAM, Russia, and Australia. So we partnered with Rankin and Magic Associates to really take a step back to see this new living room environment. It's extremely important. There's been a dramatic shift in viewing consumption habits over the last, 3 years. Everybody in the room here understands of our streaming capabilities, understand they have options to watch their favorite content not only on linear channels but through streaming services such as the Netflixes of the world, the Amazons, the Hulus, and Crackles as well. But really, this is a great study that really dives deeper into the consumer and their viewing habits. So this is a great video that kind of talks about those who participate in the study. So we've talked about household penetration for streaming and connected devices. It's dramatic. So over 96% of households have the potential to stream video directly onto their TV. So that's in a big, beautiful environment. You can see that there's the penetration's there now. Who are the providers allowing content to be streamed on those set-top boxes? So when we take a look about connected TV is leading the way across all in-home streaming. It's the largest screen. It's the most natural transitions from watching linear to checking what's available through streaming content, which is really exciting. As you can see, connected TV is leading the way, followed then by desktop streaming, and also then mobile, tablet, and smartphone. So when it comes to consumer behavior, what's their preference when they want to stream content? It's on their connected devices. So when we talk about consumer trends, not that there's so much opportunity. The good news is that people are not going away from watching linear, but the way they're consuming and the times they're consuming is a much more a la carte and on the go. So consumer trending in that sense has really seen a dramatic shift in behaviors in terms of how people are accessing and consuming content. So right now you can see about 80% have cable or satellite service to get the program that they desire. About 20% right now have no cable or satellite services, meaning they're completely off the wire. They are looking to have options to stream and get content that they have. So either they're going through subscription services or going on video on demand services and streaming services like Crackle of the world. But then now there's such a proliferation of connected devices and the preference of streaming as a behavior in the household and beyond, we really see a dramatic shift in the next 6 months. That 80% is going to now drill down to about 52% are going to have cable and satellite services, yet we're going to have a variety of cord nevers, cord cutters, and cord shavers. So cord nevers are those who've held out, never had TV service, and then we're going to have additional cord nevers who are actually going to just cancel their cable and satellite service because they want to get the content that they prefer on the go and on demand. We have cord cutters. Those are likely just to cancel completely. Over 20% of cord cutters in the next 6 months are going to get rid of their cable or satellite service. And then finally, cord shavers, where they're likely to keep their linear services, but they're going to trim down and bring the total cost down. Right now, it's about $169 a month on average for people's cables bills. So very expensive, but they understand now with the proliferation of subscription-based services and free streaming services that there's options, and it's a great opportunity to cut costs while not sacrificing quality of content. So when we talk about, okay, watching TV is the number one option when you have downtime at the household with the family, but this next consideration set after seeing what's on linear TV is streaming, and that's fantastic news. So it's really become a secondary behavior, actually higher than what's on DVR and actually DVD basis. So streaming is a very, very powerful option for consumers, and one that, frankly, they enjoy exploring. So when we look about streaming video and connected TVs, it's not just a one-to-one relationship. There's multiple co-viewing opportunities, watching movies streaming on their house, on their TV, as we saw just a minute ago. Connected TVs are the number one device that they like to stream on. Big, beautiful experiences, same to linear. So when they're watching these movies and TV shows, they're not watching alone. There's moms watching with kids, parents watching by themselves after the kids have gone to bed, and really it's a co-viewing environment similar to you would see in linear. And ad-supported streaming wins on all screens. People understand that commercials are part of the viewing experience when it comes to linear, and that's no different from ad-supported streaming services. So the reception and the likelihood to sit through and actually engage with those ads is actually higher on connected devices. So that ties naturally into who we are here at Crackle. We are the number one freely accessible premium network, unauthenticated and free to all users across 24 different screens and devices. Currently, we're reaching over 30 million monthly uniques. Our ad completion rate is through the roof, almost 90% there across the board on all platforms, and time spent engagement is a very valuable metric. They're spending over close to 100 minutes per users on our platform. Really, that just speaks to the quality and the premium nature of our site. So take a step back, we talk about the video ecosystem sandbox. So we like to play nice with our partners and really focus on, this is just a great example or a great overview of really who's in the space right now and where they sit in the video ecosystem. So of course we have our mass reach, niche type content, UGC generated content with the likes of YouTubes of the world, the Machinimas, Vivo, Break, real snackable content, 1 to 2 minute clips. But the payoff for an advertiser is the viewer is less likely to sit through a 15 or 30 second spot if it's just a snackable 1 to 2 minute clip of cats playing the piano or an epic fail. And then we talk about our digital platforms, which are linear channels that actually have a streaming service on the web, where there's typically on digital platforms there's an authentication model, so you still need to enter in your cable credential or satellite provider to unlock the full breadth of content that's available on these TV digital platforms if you were to try to stream them on the web. And typically their catalog is not as robust for the full seasons, so it's usually snippets and snippets of yesterday's show and so forth. And then we talk about full-length features where it's 100% long-form, full episode player TV and movie content, where 100% premium, no user-generated content. Content's typically 25 minutes or above on these players. So that's the Netflix of the world, the HBO Go's, Amazon, Hulu's, and of course Crackle. So we sit on the full-length premium entertainment provider for our partners. Now, how we separate ourselves from the ecosystem is really we are the only one taking the linear approach and 100% free to all consumers. So we are 100% ad-supported across all platforms. No authentication, no subscription service. Two taps from either your tablet, your smartphone, or 2 clicks from your desktop or your remote control, and you're in streaming content on Crackle. We talk about ad completion rate, over 93% ad completion rate across all partners, and over 60 minutes per user, so engagement, time spent. Typically, TV digital platforms, you don't have that kind of engagement on there, but when we're streaming, lots of binge viewing on the full-length side, watching multiple episodes, multiple movies in one sitting. Let's talk about the competitive positioning. So where do we sit in terms of TV digital platform as we are really taking the approach of being a full linear channel but available 100% ad-supported through streaming services? Crackle right now in terms of unique visitors and viewers is on par with the CBS, ESPNs, and MTVs of the world, just from comparing TV digital platforms to our streaming service. Now we talk about engagement, that what really matters, are they staying on the site, are they watching a lot of content? And as you can clearly see, Crackle is leading the way versus the TV digital platforms. There's a strong demand for that. We talk about our distribution. So we're across, as I mentioned, over 25 different screens and devices. Of course, we have our own and operated site, Crackle.com. We have our mobile solutions across mobile and all tablet operating systems. And then gaming consoles, which is huge for us. We see a lot of access to Crackle content from the PS3, PS4, and Xbox console. And then, of course, we're on 5 of the top 6 connected TVs in market. Our programming. So we have a really unique approach to our program. We're a curated and program premium entertainment network. When I say curated, that means we program content to a specific audience. So we have a male sensibility to us, but we're also female inclusive, as you'll see. So we really want to make sure we curate content so we keep the content fresh and engaging. We don't aggregate content and have all of our content available all at once for users to access. We want to keep it fresh, new, and that we do that for 2 reasons. First, we want to make sure people are coming back and seeing new content constantly refreshed on Crackle. And 2, we want to develop that relationship with the consumer, understanding that we're constantly changing and evolving our programming to the interest that we see from users accessing Crackle. Let's talk about our audience. A very attractive audience. So as I mentioned, we have a male sensibility to us, but we are female inclusive. About 55% male to 45% female. Very highly tech savvy, high purchase intent. Younger, our sweet spots in that 18 to 34 range, millennial audience. Very tech savvy. They understand they have options to get content. They understand that for them, technology is hand in hand. They never leave their home without their phone. They're streaming. They're multitasking when they're watching linear, or if they're streaming, they are engaged with technology and they understand the value of it and have incorporated into their daily lives seamlessly. This is a great sizzle reel that really talks about how the evolution of Crackle and where this new network and new living room is headed. Gets the blood going for me. So let's talk about partnership opportunities, Crackle advertising. So what can we do to leverage our fantastic content and our highly desirable audience for our partners? So we have media, sponsorships, and original solutions, which I'll dive into each one here momentarily. So from a media perspective, of course, our bread and butter is running 15 and 30-second spots, just like you would see on linear. However, the great advantage of streaming and streaming services like Crackle is that we can provide interactive video experiences. So not just running in 15 and 30, but actually having a call to action where users can engage and learn more about your product in an interactive ad experience that's unique to streaming services. Of course, media solutions across mobile, tablet, .com, takeovers. We can really drill down and create a splashy, beautiful, creative concept for you guys and run it across our home pages of Crackle. So we talk about C-roll media innovation. So as I mentioned earlier with our interactive video, we have a partnership with Innovate, which is a leading interactive video service provider for the web. We created an exclusive unit called C-roll, which is the first ever interactive video ad unit that renders seamlessly across .com, mobile, and connected devices. Typically, interactive video, you can only have interactivity on .com or mobile or tablet. Now this unlocks the breadth of interactivity on devices such as the Roku, the PlayStation 3, and soon to be PlayStation 4. From an engagement and performance standpoint, Innovate came to us to partner with this unit as they saw our fantastic results when it came to iRoll. So they wanted to leverage us and our platform and our audience to be that first partner to utilize C-roll, which again allows that interactivity of video on connected devices such as Roku, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4. One of the great things also, as I mentioned earlier, as being under this one Sony umbrella, is that we have the opportunity to leverage the power of Sony Pictures Entertainment, the #1 studio box office studio in the world this past year, with fantastic films such as James Bond, Amazing Spider-Man series, The Smurfs, Hotel Transylvania. Really, we have an opportunity to either integrate never been seen before footage, never exclusive content that are these theatrical releases for our partners. And really, no other partner can provide that given our relationship with the box office, with the studio. Excuse me. This is a great sponsorship where we do seasonal events and sponsorships around watch lists. So a big thing when we curate content, we create watch lists for our partners where we aggregate pieces of content that fits their creative messaging for a specific campaign. So for example, Jack in the Box, they had the new bacon cheeseburger that has bacon in the inside of the patty, which is delicious, by the way. But you can see the big, beautiful creative. We had a homepage takeover execution here where they sponsored the True Bromance collection of films that we aggregate and then provide as editorial content across the Crackle user interface and homepage slideshow when you access Crackle, this is one of the content pieces you'll see. And in that, it's just a natural tie-in for the creative messaging, the sponsored presence, high share voice of video within each of these films. As you can see, collection of Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, very bromance, very male skewing, heavy male content that really leverages the fun nature of the Jack in the Box creative, which is really whimsical, comical, and we tied in content that would appeal to that consumer on Crackle. So really exciting stuff for us now. I know I've talked about a lot of our media solutions, but this is where we really separate ourselves in our Crackle originals. As I mentioned, we leverage the same writers, directors, producers that do such films, such hit shows as Breaking Bad, Rescue Me, The Shield. So when we create our originals, this is premium Hollywood content, shot in full HD, and really leveraging A-list talent. So this past year, we invested about 20 hours of original programming. Now in 2014, we're going to up that to over 50. So to give an idea, FX, AMC, TNTs of the world, they're really only doing about 40 to 50 hours of original programming, and we are on par, if not exceeding that, for our audiences in terms of original production. So I'll get into each of these ones individually. We talked about the landscape I just mentioned. Really, we're leading the way when it comes to original programming being produced, so higher than our competitive set, and then also in linear as well. We are right there with the FX, the TBS, and AMCs of the world in terms of what is being produced from an original perspective. So our flagship, I know this is our flagship Crackle original, Comedians and Cars Getting Coffee. I'm not sure if everybody saw the Super Bowl spot we had this past year. Fantastic spot, actually the #1 DVR Super Bowl spot of the Super Bowl. Really, it's a show about nothing. It's Seinfeld's true gem where he leverages his comedic friends and his love of cars and coffee, and has a really amazing series where they capture organic, natural banter in between his comedic friends and himself. Of course, hilarity ensues on the go. Really, just a natural, organic production. Actually sponsored by Acura this past year, but everything that we do from an original perspective, we can do some really cool product integrations and thematic alignment with the script and the series itself. Chosen. This is my personal favorite Crackle original. Season 3 is projecting over 200 million video views, so we're just finished wrapping Season 2. It's originally launched with Mila Ventimiglia from Heroes. Very cat and mouse type thriller, really sucks you in the first 5 minutes. I would liken it to Taken with meets Enemy of the State. So essentially, ordinary human beings are thrust into a game of kill or be killed, and it really sucks you in the first 5 minutes. Season 3 is going to star Rose McGowan. Chad Michael Murray is going to carry off from Season 2, and it's really a game where it's a game of kill or be killed. High engagement, high entertainment, really well done. The writing is phenomenal. Really highly suggest everybody take a look at the series, watch the first 5 minutes of episode 1, and trust me, you'll be hooked. Another one of our Crackle originals that we premiered this past year, really excited about, is Cleaners. So this stars Emmanuel Shariqui from Entourage, Emily Osment from Hannah Montana fame. Really two beautiful, fun, sexy, we have a male sensibility to us, but sexy leads here, but essentially they're contract killers. I know it sounds a little violent, but it's more of in the sense of a Thelma and Louise, more fun, engaging, where you see the different personalities of Emmanuel Shariqui's character and Emily Osment's character. One is by the book, rigid, no nonsense, gets her work done. The other is fun-loving, party girl, and loves to have a great time. And seeing them interact and the banter that they have amongst each other as they're doing these serious real-world jobs in terms of eliminating people for hire is really sucks to it, and it's just high entertainment value. So had a tremendous success from Season 1. Again, fast-paced, stylized, sexy, fun action. When we drop this, 30-minute episodics and 12 episodes coming in the fall. Next, we have Playing It Forward. Now, this is a little bit different than our Crackle originals in the sense that this is a philanthropic musical platform and produced by Robert Downey Jr. and his wife Susan. Robert Downey actually features in every series. We launched our pilot episode this past holiday season with John Legend as our A-list artist, Grammy Award-winning John Legend. Essentially, the Playing It Forward takes a riff on Pay It Forward, where it's a philanthropic effort where an A-list artist does a spontaneous street performance in a city around the U.S., unannounced and completely driven through social. in that, when the musician actually drops and does his 3 to 5 song set, then we donate $100,000 in the name of his charity of choice, or for example, Mr. Holland's Opus or VH1 Save the Music, to better and provide music education to schools and maintain awareness of the importance of music in the community. So we dropped our first one. FedEx was actually the sponsor. We do some really cool integrations around this, where um, the heart of the performance is all about the music series, but then after the musician does a spontaneous street performance, and then we see it out 24 hours before the event, hence that an A-list artist is coming into your town, we build the buzz. When we did John Legends, we had about a crowd of about 500 people. As you can imagine, everybody flipped out their camera phone. We're sharing it, we're tweeting it, very social, highly viral opportunity for a partnership. And again, leveraging our opportunity, our Columbia music artist relationships to do such a cool idea that's around playing it forward. I love this platform. I love this series. Highly recommend taking a look at it. When the street performance ends, of course, we have cameras all around. We capture that. We package that. We incorporate our partners' vignettes and messaging seamlessly through the series, and then we release it on Crackle exclusively 24 to 48 hours after the event. Sequester. So this is our next big thing. Really, it's a scripted drama. It's projected to release in fall of 2014, 12 30-minute episode. It's going to be episodic, 30-minute per episode. We're dropping 12. And when we drop episodes on Crackle, we typically drop them all at once to allow binge viewing and multiple consumption. The only series, actually, I digress a little bit, that doesn't do that is Comedians in Cars, given the demand that we've seen there, and just it works better that way to keep the buzz going for us there. But sequestered essentially is a group of 12 jurors that are sequestered in a hotel room, essentially trying to engage and deliberate through a very high visible case set in New Orleans. So really, this is going to be like 12 Angry Men rebooted for 2014. A lot of twists and turns. Jurors are going to two-face. There's just a lot of high drama in this visible court case that 12 jurors have to figure out and move forward with. So really excited about this. Really a psychological type thriller, and set in a hotel. So for a travel or a hotel partner there, we could actually shoot the whole series at a Marriott or at a Hilton or at a Waldorf Astoria, for example. And finally, another platform that we're launching is called Crackle Live. So this is actually going to be its first premium live engagement platform, almost like a channel on Crackle, where we're going to be premiering 2 A-list artists' performance per quarter. So again, leveraging our Sony Music relationship, and then also 4 emerging artists perform per quarter. So think of this as an opportunity to watch live concert, snackable content from A-list and A-list artists around the globe, and really it's going to be driven socially across Crackle and a dedicated channel on our platform. We're launching on Crackle.com, PS3 and PS4 exclusively in the fall of 2014, but very live social experience. Really excited about this. Just again, premium catalog of artists and award-winning movies. Again, just enforcing our position in the marketplace as providing best-in-class content. And music is so near and dear to our consumer that we feel really confident that this will just take off, and tuning will be tremendous on our Crackle Live platform. So I know I went through a lot here today. For those that have actually seen this presentation, I hope this helped reinforce your perception and the opportunities that we have here at Crackle and our position in the marketplace. For those new to Crackle, I highly recommend you engage with our product. Watch our Crackle original Chosen. I highly recommend that. Comedians in Cars, goes without saying, it's a fantastic series. Webby Award winner, actually. And just really excited to continue our partnerships and our discussions and figuring out creative ways to leverage both Crackle and now PlayStation for your clients' needs in 2014. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day.